Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Tuesday, October 26th. And starting with the ASX here, I'll just start on the 4-hour chart because, yeah, it's kind of where we need to be. So, just in a bit of a nutshell, looking at wave 4 here as wave 1 and wave 2, and then wave 1 and wave 2, and wave 1 and 2. I'm not so much worried about this here because I could have this wrong. I mean, that could be the low of the market, but didn't make a low in that case in some sort of triangle-y pattern or something. But what interests me the most at this point, anyway, that will all become apparent later on. What interests me the most is this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here, because once we hit 75, and we could go above it, but just generally speaking, once we hit that, then technically we should come back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here, or the 38.2% retracement level before moving higher. Now, that said, we may not come all the way back because 75, we may just stick there, you know. And if we take the top here, somewhere around the 74.50 will do the trick. We may only come back to the 74.50 sort of area, but we should either way expect some type of correction at the 75. I think the 75 will become a bit of a sticky number, so it won't go too far away from it, but we just need to be mindful of what it can do. And if we take the low of wave 2 here and just put that above there for the moment, that leaves the 38.2% retracement level right on where the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree is here. So we're kind of, I'll just make that a bit bigger than it need to be, but yeah. So we have to watch out for that pullback there for that. So that's a little bit of a hassle. Let me just check on this guy here. Where did that pull back? Oh, that pulled back right on the 38.2%. Oh, we looked at that yesterday. Sorry about that. But yeah, so anyway, it certainly could pull back to that level. So we just need to be a little bit mindful of that situation. So just going into the hourly chart here. So from this wave 4 here, I really need to pull that apart here, but either way that we look at it, if you're a short-term trader, then that's the number that you want, that 75. It's as simple as that. Will it be above or below that? I don't know, but getting close to that for a short-term trade, and then you've got to kind of think, well, that's the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree down here. I can't see it coming all this way down. I could probably see it doing something like this at max, you know, and then sort of moving up, you know. So I'm going to leave the stop out of the way. So what you could do, or what we could do if you wanted to, is we could look at the 75 there, just a thought anyway, and look at that and take some money off the table, and then we'll try to get back in sort of, you know, somewhere over here for all of that. Not that that's going to be a much bigger of a deal, but if you're trading leverage, then you've got yourself an issue, you know, because the wave 4 is time consuming, and this wave 4 here should be bigger than the previous wave 4. I always say 60%, but I hardly ever get it right. But it just gives you the thing of like, well, bigger than that it should be, you know, because really it needs to rebalance this trend from wave 2 to wave 3 there. So you need some sort of balance within that, you know. And the other point too is that I may have the count wrong as well. That's the other point too. So what that would mean that the market just continues to move to the upside, because it is quite strong. When we look at this little trend channel here, it is hugging the top, you know. So that normally tells me that it'll just keep doing that and it won't pull back that much, you know. So yeah, anyway, just sort of food for thought. I'm going to leave the stop out of the way because I want to leave our main trade in the trend. We're not finished with it yet. We're in, you know, we're in a third wave here. So what's the point of getting out? You know, it's just the financing costs that we need to to accommodate a bit. Also, the next level here, by the way, for short-term traders, after 5 comes 8. And before 8 is 72. So you got 72 and 65. So that's where we are now, basically in subgroup 2 there. So I'll just leave it at that. I mean, it's a little bit dodgy in here, but I think I've got the count right with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. I feel okay about the count, even though the market looks shaky, you know. And the other good thing about all of this too, by the by, I mean, but we still need to be careful of 5, because 5 is the second strongest number. We're going to spend time there. We're going to have a correction there. I just don't think it's going to be as big as we think it is, but, you know, who hasn't been wrong before? Worst case scenario back to here. So you'll need to accommodate all those thoughts in one way or another and find your way through all of this. But the main trend is still up, and we have a lot of confidence in that trend to the upside. Okay, so the other point is the bank. So we need to have a look at CBA, which is basically, it was up 0.5% yesterday, and finally sort of, you know, gave us a clear indication that it's above, because we'll just go back over this a little bit. We had this move up through here, which is impulsive, and then we've had this, well, we figured that it was a corrective move, and it pulled back to the 61.8% in a nice ABC here, and it pulled back on lower volume. We had increasing volume in the move up, and then we've had this move here on lower volume. So, but what we really wanted was just to take that top out, this top here. That's the one that we wanted. I think it clipped it on that day, but that's okay too. But just taking that top out there forces that to be an ABC correction, and then it will take the top out there. And if it's going to take the top out there, well, then that there is above the 61.8% from that top to that low there. That's where the 61.8% is. So it's going to be above that. So we're on our way, far as I'm concerned, is that this little move here is wave 1 and back for wave 2 here, and we're going to see that scoot along now. Now obviously that's going to come into the old high over here somewhere and have a bit of a relapse, and then pull itself together and mosey on along. So yeah, we're looking at something like that. And the levels up here as well is that you have to remember that at 100 is the main major level, and then we've got 10, which I think I'll just put in as a minor level there, and I'll copy that, and then 20, and then 30. So this is really all within the bounds of the 100 at this point. I know $30 is a long way away, but it's still, you know what it is. It's still minor level. So anyway, the volume has confirmed all the price action as we were talking about yesterday, so I don't need to go into all of that. But yeah, I can say we can go long on banks, be it Bendigo, be it, you know, all the 4 pillars of Australian society. So yeah, I still haven't really resolved this problem here yet. I need to ponder that, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It's hard for me to do everything, but if it pops out, it's easy. But yeah, so that's where we are. So looking good for the banks. I just want to check the tick chart here for a moment. Just want to make sure to be sure. Yeah, certainly. I mean, the worst thing that could possibly happen here is that I've got this wrong here, and we go up for one more, and then we come back 50-60%. So just looking about the stop. So let's just say that that pulls up to there, still drops back to that point. So our stop has got to go under that. So let's just it's possible that's there. I mean, from the top here, we can come down at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's possible. I just need to do this one here, otherwise it won't get done. No, it doesn't work because then that overlaps that. Anyway, I'll mull that over. I still need to work it though. So okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure that that's there anyway, but that didn't even give us a really nice ABC. It gave us 5 waves down here, and am I supposed to think that's the B wave there or something? Anyway, a bit of work to do there, but technically we got the bigger picture correct, so we're just going to leave this out of the way. We'll just pop it there just for the time being. See, we've taken, this was the A, the B and the C, and we've taken that top out. So yeah, looking really good. So the question is to add to this position here as well. I think what we'll do is we'll wait for this little 5 waves here, which may already be done, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could actually just go long above there if you wanted to, if you're not already in or wanting to add. But you know, there may be a pullback into this area. Okay, that's that. Sorry to spend so much time on that. I just need to mull it over a little bit. And ANZ here. So with ANZ, what we can do is we can just call this wave 1. I know that there's a bit of a problem here with this, but we need to push up past that. So that will be up there. I'll just put that there. So that's, and we'll work that. We'll start to get that trend into some sort of shape as well. Here, I won't add another position here. You can do that if you want. We don't need that. This will be some sort of 1 and 2 in here, just exactly where. I'll just put that there for the time being. I have to put that there. We'll check on that in due course. We'll start to put Humpty Dumpty together. Okay, so that's the whole ASX side of things in a simple manner. And we need to have a quick look at China. Nothing sort of happening. We're looking here at 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 here. At the same time, we know that this could be an A wave, a B wave, and 5 waves up for a C wave. So we have to move past the top of that 5 wave structure from here to confirm that this is not some sort of correction. I don't think it is, but it's just good to know both sides of the coin. If you know the whole story, then you've got a better perception of what can happen. And I want to have a look at India. Let's just get out of here, get some perspective. I haven't seen this bit. So it's really sticking to that, but the stochastics is pulling back. So it hasn't left the 18 yet, so maybe I need to readjust this in some way or another. But fear not, the trend is still to the upside. This is the arrival, the reaction, first high above the level. So we're looking for some sort of ABC correction here at the 18, which does mean though we can go long above here, but it does also mean too that we should be able to get a better position. So tomorrow we'll look for a better position, but at the same time too, this can also be, would have to be a little bit careful as 1 and 2 here. It doesn't look like the whole of the third wave, but we're going to call that in for a moment. And I'll just put this here, and it would be fantastic if this just comes down through here, because then it would overlap wave 1 and then we can get rid of this count, because at the moment it could do this here. So that's what we need to be mindful of. So I'll just wait. No, don't do anything here just yet, okay? Things are still setting up, so we don't need to do anything. I just want to get this overlapping this. That will be very helpful, because then we can readjust a few things. I don't think we've done anything wrong here. It's all pretty clean. That's definitely 5 waves. That's 5 waves to that point. It's not part of that. So yeah, we could just get one more there. So I'm just going to remove that. I don't want to get people trapped there, and it wouldn't go that high either. It would only just go to there. Let's just see if we get that overlap. Okay, don't have to worry about that just yet. And then that brings us over to commodities, and iron ore's the first one. So daily chart, iron ore, we've got an A wave, a B. We have to remember as well that this move here is corrective. It's in 3 waves. It was very clear. So it means that all of this is corrective. Even though it's a big bear market, it's still corrective. And really it's a pattern that's got to do, obviously it's moved around, but it's still all about this number here. So it's like that it's overshot. So I'm thinking that it should push up. However, as I keep mentioning, I don't have a very nice wave count up here for that. But what I do have here is I have a nice ABC pattern here on the tick chart. So we'll go in and have a look at that. We talked about it yesterday or whatever. So the move down here, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then we knew that we'd get another 5 waves. So we've had a correction. So I've just called it an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. So that can be the low. Now it's really pushing the boundaries. So this here, we could get 5 waves out of it. A bit of an overlap in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 5 up here for that. Still 1 short. No, that fits. So yeah, and this move here, down to this point is not 5 waves yet. So we've got a wave A and B here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So not showing a very nice impulse wave here, but we could look at it as an impulse wave. That can be corrective. We just need this to push up here, right? That's what we need to see. So look, you know, there's a lot of hope within all of this here, of this pushing up, but I kind of feel hopeful, you know. But as I keep mentioning, we just don't really have a nice 5 wave structure here. I'm just sort of hanging in there with all of this. We haven't broken the low here. We've got 3 waves to that point, so that can be corrective. But now we need this. We need to see this push up. Any move down through this low here, and you know, we've got a problem at that point. We're going to see further weakness. So let's just see how this holds up. And BHP and all that are looking quite good to the upside. Rio's not that good. It's still got a bit more to do. Let's just cruise in and have a look at which is the next commodity. Gold here. Okay, so this is a 2 hour for gold. As we mentioned yesterday, we're looking for 5 waves to the upside. Now this is probably counted a little bit differently, but in this case I'm looking at 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the 3rd wave, the 4th wave and the 5th wave here. It's pretty messy, I understand that, but I'm trying to get wave 1 here because the ETFs, the GDX, is also in the same boat here as well. And you'll find a lot of stocks are as well. I'm just picking out Newcrest here because it's close by and I've got money in it myself. But so here we're looking for 5 waves up and a pullback here and then further to the upside. So I'm not going to pay too much attention to this until we get that pullback here. Then our focus will be sharpened. But so this can be the D wave finishing up here, right, with 5 waves up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just need to put them in blue, and then we've got wave C of D, and then we come back for E of 4. So a lot of, not a lot, but people have mentioned that we can use this as wave 2 here and then have this as wave 1 and 2 here as well and move up. So I'm kind of playing both hands here because, as I mentioned a long time ago, that when we come down to the wire, this wave 1 or wave C here and D and the E here and wave 2 and the E, they'll all look the same, you know. So I'll look a bit silly, but I'm just going to continue to work them because the wave 2 down here should be a 5-3-5 structure. Okay, now as an E wave, that could be the same as a 5-3-5 structure as well, but it could also get a bit more complicated because it's part of a, you know, it just could get more complicated. So it allows me a bit of leeway in getting things right. So I'll just leave the 2, but we can have a look at counts of having this as wave 2 here, then wave 1 and 2 and so on. But the main point is that I think that once this is done here, this run here for gold, all the gold bugs are going to be like very happy indeed, you know, and they've been through a lot and I feel for them, you know. I know what it's like to be holding positions you know, over long periods of time and how they can eat away. That's why it's really important not to overtrade. Sure, if a market is, you know, pounding away like Bitcoin and gas and those sorts of things, well, you know, you've got to feed the beast and make hay while the sun shines, you know. So, yeah. Okay, so we'll just check on silver while we're here. So silver is doing the same thing as well. I've tied silver into the same thing. It's looking okay. So 1 and 2. And they don't really have a good 3 and 4 here yet, but I mean technically I should put that there, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. I'm looking for a classic trading levels pattern at 25 here. That's the main point, and the wave 2 will show up when it shows up. So we're going to keep our stop out of the way. We've got a few positions here. We're going to add to the positions over this side, and that's it really. And silver stocks will be doing much the same, but with all sectors, you know, there'll be leaders and there'll be followers, and you know, so anyway, it's all about what's on trend, you know. It might not even be in a sector, it might be because so much new stuff coming out now, isn't there? New technologies in the AI and robotics and 3D printing and nano and biotech, and I mean it's all just coming out. So really it's not about finding trends, it's about sectors, it's about finding what's on trend. Okay, just don't waffle, Pete, keep going, mate. So crude. Okay, so with crude here, taking a very conservative count of 1 and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave. I don't like the fourth wave because it's very small. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 going up here. There's another little move to go up here. I'll just show you, but there's a top that's quite near. Let's just bring in some more data. So from wave 3 here to wave 4, we were looking at wave 1 yesterday, 2, then 1 and 2, and I can bring those in there and we just double check that's all good. 3, 4, 5 here. So I think there's one more top to go here. We haven't overlapped that just yet. It does look impulsive to the downside. Okay, no, we can put that over there because we can see the little 5 waves here. So that was 3. So that's an A and a B and a C wave here. So we should see crude move up. Will it move that far? I don't know. 8.6. We'll take it to 8.6. So we could have a top in at that point. I've got that as a wave 3, but don't worry about that just yet. But we will see a correction over this side once this finishes off. Could we use this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here? Possibly, but wave 3 does look a little bit short here compared to wave 1. Little bit short. Still, anyway, we've got to look at all of these things. So, yeah. Yep, no, all good there. Okay, so moving along to copper. So, everything's sort of okay here for the time being. I'll just clear this up a little bit. So that should be done and dusted because we've basically got an equal part of, it didn't stop here, so it's got an equal, it's an overshoot pattern. So we'll just have a quick look at that in a moment. So that should push up at that point. I really don't know about that wave 1 there. I shouldn't be doing that there, but I just don't see another way to put it unless I put the whole wave 4 over to this low and look at something kind of weird finishing off. Anyways, let's just go to, are we on the hourly chart for this? Yeah. So it's kind of worth noting here, we don't see this pattern very often where it doesn't really stop here. And as a rule of thumb, the distance above here is, oops, that's not quite right, is it? Anyway, the distance above is the distance below. It hasn't really come that far down, but it gives you an idea, and that's the overshoot pattern. You don't see it that often, so that's why I want to talk about. It doesn't stop here, but it eventually runs out of steam, and then it folds over. And then we pick it back up over this side, so that it becomes, whatever this price point is the balance line here. So this is where we're just here at the moment, I think, somewhere here. So yeah, we're just in here. So let's just see if this picks up from this point. So the trade here would be on top of 10,000 on major trading level 1. So we'll see something here like that. I'm probably dramatizing it a little bit, but basically we just want to see that level as support, right? Anyway, that's that. We've been waiting. We called the low in yesterday and we're just waiting, and you know, it certainly could come down further, but we do have our little A, B and C here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all looking pretty good, but you never know. But this will keep us safe at that point. And we're going to have a look at gas, and it's certainly gas, isn't it? As they'd say in the 60s. So, yeah, the only odd thing here is we're not really getting any volume. Oh, the thing that I had to say about copper too, by the way, and thanks for letting me know, is the LME went into, I'm not quite sure if it's default or not, but it's probably just a matter of word choice, but the LME have basically run out of copper. So you can Google that, and yeah, so they're paying people to roll over their contracts and not take delivery. So they've got themselves in the poop. But I don't know the full story. Like I say, I love reading news and things. I love ideas better. But yeah, I'm not a fundamental person. I mean, fundamentally, I'm a person. Okay, so yeah, we don't have any volume pushing this up. So that's a bit weird. Bit weird. Does that mean that because there's no volume, does that mean that wave 4 could be over here for that? And this is just an A wave, and we go up to a B wave, and we come down for a C wave? I don't think so. I don't think so, because I can see in some of the stock, but let's just go into the hourly chart here for a moment. Let's just take a look at this. We started The counting's been pretty smooth through all of this. And we called the low in and put it, I didn't trade it myself, but calling, you can go long from that point. So now we can see that we can call this wave 1 and 2 here as well. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. The other point with this would be to look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and back for 2 here, but I don't think that's the case. I'll have to pull that apart there because that's 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and that's 1 and 2, and that's 1 and 2, and that's 3, 4, 5. So that's connected to, can I just use this? That's connected to that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those three are connected. So we still have one and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2 to that point. Anyway, it's going to rest at $6 there for a while before that pushes up. Even as a corrective pattern, that's not finished to the upside. So we're going to be sort of up here somewhere. Maybe I need to lift these up too. I need to get the right degree of structure here as well. So yeah, well, at the 650 here, if we just go back to the daily chart for a moment, get some sort of bearing on all of this. This pattern's kind of twofold as part of the 650 and it's also part of $5. So basically from $5, the next level is $8. Right, and the halfway mark is 650, so in there somewhere. So we will see some sort of pattern play out across here, but I do see that we'll just go here somewhere and we'll do something here, be some sort of thing here, and then we'll be heading up. Let's just go back and have a look at a few things here first. Yeah, let's just ignore that for a second. It's not going to be like that. We can just go straight to here. That's what we're going to be doing, but we're also going to be spending some time here, not as much as I think, but we've got to fit 5 waves in from here to here or to 830. Just having a look at stock. This is Woodside, Australia's biggest gas company. I just also want to check on this as well. Sorry for this. Yeah, sorry, I got the wrong count here. So for this market, okay, we can just put that there and that there for the time being. Probably won't come back that far, but we'll just pop that there. So even though we've got lines everywhere here, haven't we? Well, we can take that and we can put that over there. So that one goes over there. So obviously you can just buy that today there. Yeah, so I'm thinking that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to here. Let me just have a look at Santos. So Santos is the same, okay, so yeah, okay, well that's all good too then. So we can just put that in the same vein. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 there. We can get rid of this, we don't need that there now. So that's where that is. So we'll get to here and then we'll have a ABC correction and then we'll go up again. So if you're going to buy, let's just do it right. We've already got one there. We've got yesterday or whatever. What's that? 720 within group 2. Okay, so that's cool. Yeah, so yeah, we have to buy now, because what will happen is that we will end up going up here, probably a little bit higher, maybe, don't know. But then we're going to have a sort of some sort of correction here before we go up further. So you need to be, you know, if you've got leverage, then you've got a slight problem. But if you just got stock, then it's fine. At that point, I'll just have a look at OSH as well, because I know that that was in the same pattern as well. Oh, I have to understand this whole section, but it doesn't matter. This is also going up. Not like that. That's a bit dodgy, isn't it? That's going to $5. So you can trade OSH to $5. Buy now and save. Okay, so that's the commodities. Let's just have a look at currency. So we want to have a look at the DXY. So on the DXY, we're on the daily chart here. Now, we were thinking about calling a top in, but at the same time, we're looking not that wave 4, but this wave 4 here. I have to go to the intraday. But we wanted a clear break of that low, and we don't have that clear break. So it does appear that we could be going up. I'll just go to the hourly chart, because we were just mucking around with this low here for this. And I've given it, I know it looks a little, you know, I mean, I know I've moved the goalposts, but I really wanted to make sure that we would, you know, that we're going up at this point. So it's just a bit struggly to see that low there. I mean, I could look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nah, it's weird, very weird. But that little move here, I have to say, this move here is in 3 waves. So this is probably corrective. We'll probably come down through here, you know. But I'll leave that there for the time being. But as I mentioned, we do want a clear break. But I have to say, unless this is some sort of triangle pattern, A, B, C, D, E here, and put that there, possible. We just want a clear break of that. If we get a clear, if this is a C wave here, an A and a B and a C wave here, if we get a clear break here, then we can turn bearish. But otherwise, I just need to hold out here a bit longer. We're seeing the Australian dollar perform quite well. So let's just go and have a look at the Aussie dollar here. So this is a daily chart. So our plan has been working 5 waves up through to here. And if that top is taken out, then we're going to be cruising up higher at that point. And because this could be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, and fade from that point as a corrective move. Okay, so that's why we wanted to move past that 5 waves, and we got a pretty good grip on that 5 wave structure. I don't know if it's a 4-hour chart or 1-hour chart or tick chart. Well, I haven't updated that one, so it might be on the hourly. Okay, here we go. This is better. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1, ABC for 2, then 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 3rd, and 4th, and then we went all the way up here, yada, 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 and we called the top in, and then we got ourselves an ABC correction. Now, this is the 50-60% retracement level area here, so I would say that that's a little bit small at this point. And then I was thinking this morning that this doesn't look like 5 waves down here. It looks like 3 waves. So then I'm thinking to myself, well, do we have the B wave over here? Because that looks a little bit impulsive coming up here. You know what I mean? So we could have this situation that would make the A wave here, then an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave there. But I just want to have a little look at that. I'm just going to go to the 10-tick chart just to have a little look, see if we can make heads or tails of that. So this is a okay. I was just a little bit confused. It didn't sort of look right, but now I can see it. I mean, that definitely looks like 3 waves, but this also looks like 3 waves as well. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and the correction, probably all of that. That's all that. So this here, that looks like 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Then that looks corrective. Very weird. One, two, three, four, 5, 3rd, 4th. They still don't get, I mean, we've got 5 waves here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can look at that as here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. We don't have, still looks like, or do we call that wave 5? Is that what we need to do? It's a bit short. It's corrective here. We could look at that as part of that. Bit of a long shot though. Then that would leave that as 1. Okay, that's a bit of a puzzle. It's not quite finished. So we're looking, you know, just in a nutshell, we're looking at, first of all, the levels. That's the 75. That's really the important thing. So if we, what I could say, if we found support on, what I'm a little bit afraid of is that I'm a bit afraid that we might just get one more little move here, and then we get the C wave down, and then we move off. You know, that's what's concerning me at this point. And this would be the A wave to here, then an A and a B and a C wave here, just nipping the top out there. Where does that stand at this point in terms of, that's right on the 61.8%, so it could, yeah, it's just not, everything's just not quite there. I mean, the trading thing to do is to start off there, and then go down to there where we are now, and then go down to here to trigger that. But I'm just worried about that situation occurring. You could take this long trade here if you could take the heat coming down here, so the length of this here, moving that to, well, it'd take that top out, so it'd be there. So if you took that trade there, you may have to get a better position, but you may end up back here. So what we could do is we could take half a position there. That way we could hold that, and then we could look to add to that. It means that we would have to buy the low though. I don't want to get us trapped. That's the thing. But that does look like 5 waves to that point. So it's probably, we probably do have that in. It's just that it hasn't given me a nice 5 wave structure here. I think we might have to go for it, really. I'll tell you what we can do. Sorry for taking so long. I think what we could do is, let's just say that the market pushes up here, right? It's still going to fold back before pushing off. So what we'll do is we'll just move this and we'll put it over here. So if you do see the market shoot up here, don't trade it, wait for it to come back, and then we can use that high, and if not, then a second high as well. And we'll be scaling, we need to build into here pretty rapidly as we go through here. So we're getting there, just a little spanner in the works. Okay. Okay, so let's have a look at stock. We're going to have a look at BHP first. So this is New York BHP. It's on the low here. We looked at this dodgy wave 1 here and 2 here, and then 3, 4, 5, and then we waited for the pullback here. There may still be another, there still may be a pullback in here as well to come to this. I don't know. It's hard to see, to interpret the gaps in all of this, but we do have a position here. We've got our stop out of the way. We are looking to add to the position, so really anything above this would be fine here at that point. And then we're also going to be looking to build in with a classic trading levels pattern at the 60 as well, and then we're going to build in at 61, 62 and 63 over there. So we'll just see what comes out of the gate here, but all good. And then if we look at our local BHP as well, the same sort of thing from the low here. We've got dodgy 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. I kind of like all of this in its own way. We're looking for our first little 5 waves here. For this is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we might need another one to come into play. Let's just check this on the tick chart, because it looks like 1 and 2 here. That's pretty clear, but I'm wondering if this is 1 and 2 and that would be 1 and 2. That's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. I think we're not there yet with this 5 waves that I've drawn here. I think that we're in the 4th wave here. So we still need one more little high to come in here for this, and then pulling back. So let's just see how that goes. I'll just go to the 10 tick chart and just double check on that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is pretty solid. I think we're done actually. That's yeah, that's our 5 waves. So we can go long here now. This have to take it from there. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2. That's corrective. So an A and a B and a C wave here. So we should pop up there. So yeah, that's, yeah, we're going to go long above that. So we're just going to go back to 100 ticks. Okay, that's pretty clean and clear. Just have a quick look at FMG, because that's on borderline stuff. Oh yeah, great. So yeah, we're calling the low in down here because we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we looked at this as being wave 1, came right back close to wave 2 here. And then we're looking at this as wave 1 with an A and a B and a C wave here, calling that the low in yesterday. So that's moved up quite nicely there. It's the same as BHP here. In this case, I think that's all of 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third wave, fourth and fifth. So there's going to be something like this. Is that gap covered? No. Not that it's that important. And then we've got that move, so we can bring this over to here for that. So we need another, there's going to be another 2 sessions before we're triggered in for this, and then we also want to add on top of 15 as well at that point. Alrighty, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.